My name's Doug Heckman. I grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and I went to school at West Point and joined the Army after that as commissioned as lieutenant in 1981. I was an infantry officer, so initially I went through a number of schools down at Fort Benning, Airborne, Ranger, things like that. Went to Germany for 3 years in my lieutenant years. Was a platoon leader, a reconnaissance platoon leader, and executive officer for a company. Came back and went up to Fort Bragg to go through the Special Forces of the Green Beret qualification course, which I did. Joined the 5th Special Forces Group and became an A-team leader with missions in the Middle East. We would train for the desert missions down in White Sands, New Mexico, and we trained for the mountainous missions in the mountains of Montana. We parachute into the Continental Divide, things like that. And then our primary mission overseas was Libya, so we would train in Tunisia with the Tunisian Special Ops. Our secondary mission was in Iran, and we never went there, but we certainly trained in the mountains in America to prepare for that. In the reserves, I stayed active, and then when 9/11 hit, I was prepared. I'd been going overseas with special operations to that point, and the people over in Afghanistan called me over immediately, and going over there with the horse soldiers and supporting them, a support role. And then finally, most proud moments was a couple tours in Iraq as an advisor to the Iraqi military, and had several hundred Americans working for me, and bringing most of them home alive. Unfortunately, not all of them, but considered it an accomplishment bringing most of them home. My finest day is coming home. The big sacrifice as a reservist going over to Afghanistan and Iraq twice. The biggest sacrifice was being away from my family and missing my children growing up for those 3 years. So coming home to them was a fine moment. Bringing most of my soldiers home alive was a fine moment. And in general, just being a part of American history to help free the oppressed. I think we did things for the right reasons. It didn't always go as we anticipated or hoped it would, but we went there with a good American sense of justice.